All right, welcome to the Effects Loop. I'm Diaz.
I'm Scott.
We're keeping the
keeping the U in the effects loop.
Yeah, heck yeah, we are.
There aren't any U's in effects loop.
Dang it, there's really not. Well, community, there's a U in community and guitar.
No, you're wrong, man. It's spelled L-U-P-E. Loop.
Oh my gosh. This episode is brought to you by listeners like you. If you want to join the group of listeners like you, well, they're not like you if you're not giving us money. It's listeners that are better than you.
You know how much I wish this episode was sponsored by Grammarly right now? Or like one of those plugins?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right. So really, this episode's brought to you by better people than you if you're not giving us money. You can be a better person by giving us money at patreon.com/theeffectsloop. We won't be mad. We promise.
Current features of the Effects Loop podcast upper tier is you get to help Scott shop her a couch.
Yeah, and you get to see Diaz's Uber Eats earnings for some reason. I don't know why I felt the need to share that. I was just kind of excited. Because that leads into our what's new. So for me, what's new, I finally placed my order with BTPA.
Yeah.
And, so I ordered, and so I didn't respond in our chat because there's a chat room if you join the Patreon group. I ordered 40 feet of cable for my solderless ends that I have. Well, I don't want to have to place an order again.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, what is it, like 50 cents a foot?
Oh no, it was like, it was like 40 something cents a foot.
Yeah, and then it's another like $10 to do another round of shipping.
Right.
If you think of it that way, so you're just like, well, and I never have to ship again, or you can recut and recut and recut. Right.
And that's kind of my thought is, well, because usually I'll use the longer pieces and I'll cut those down.
Mm-hmm.
But like at some point you have to have long pieces again. So I've got a bunch of ends, and that's the whole thing is I keep finding like small cables where I've connected two pedals that are like right next to each other. I'm like, I'm never going to be able to use that again. And so I just ordered a bunch of cable. I ordered 10 ends so I can make 5 new cables. And that should cover my entire board or close to it. I've got right now I could cable up my board, but I'd be mixing and matching. And I really just want to knock it out with all of the same because I use the GH plugs, which are phenomenal. And, because I bought those from a company that's now defunct. That's going to be part of the topic. Foreshadowing. And then also, more foreshadowing. I got a Batman head or mask that holds popcorn.
I believe the correct term is cowl.
It is actually the correct term is it is a popcorn vessel.
You're a popcorn vessel.
Oh, heck yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up with water and see if it'll hold water because I'm going to use it to eat cereal while I watch Batman cartoons. I want to watch the Batman animated series and eat cereal out of Batman's head. But yeah. So that's going to kind of throw on, keep your eye out. We're going to drop a bonus episode here.
I think the bonus episode's coming out first.
No, let's wait. Tease them.
No, we're going to jump on all the hype. Get really early on.
Okay. What's today? Monday?
Today's
we can
Monday.
drop it tonight and bump our numbers up for this week.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Play the numbers game.
Generally,
take that, Podbean.
Actually, when I accidentally release episodes on Mondays, they always do about 20% better.
And then we always have a pickup on Wednesday where most people expect to download that day.
Yeah.
Which is always nice. All right. Scott, what's new with you?
So I got some new stuff in the mail here.
Wait, did it come already?
I don't know. It could be at my door because I'm wearing headphones, so I wouldn't hear them knock. But
yeah, you got the good headphones. I can still hear them knocking.
Yeah, actually, I need to buy a new pair. Right, I need to figure that side out. I might be buying a new pair of headphones.
Okay.
Because I'm returning to an office next week, so.
The
pair of headphones that I'm wearing right now used to be my desk headphones.
Well, I thought maybe you started today because you didn't respond to my text, and then it was just miscommunication.
I did a little, like, I did all my tax forms and HR stuff today, but which I also like that they didn't make me spend my entire first day doing that crap. Let me do it in advance. But, yeah, I start next week, Monday.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Looking forward to this new gig. Not announcing it yet, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that the Male Strip Club action in Chicago is pretty good. You'll do good. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'm kind of a halfway in between Patrick Swayze and Chris Farley, so it'll work out.
Oh, we call that a mid-tuck. Oh my gosh. That was way... Fuck. Oh my gosh. All right. Oh, sorry. Wow. I just like clipped. Yeah, so I've been on it today. I've been like really quick-witted, and it's blowing my mind. It's, you know...
Yeah. So the thing's coming. I got locking tuners for my Silver Sky. I'm definitely keeping it.
The SE. Yeah, yes. You've got an SE.
Yeah, so I there was a guy selling a used set from the American, and they're dropping.
What?
Yeah. So
Ian. No,
not Ian. I played my Silver Sky at church yesterday. It sounded great.
What would they put on there instead?
They have like the same tuner keys, so it's that like grade plastic.
No, but like I'm wondering what they considered an upgrade.
Oh,
maybe PRS style, like the actual.
These are actual PRS ones. So the PRS actually sells those locking tuners. You can buy them. They're new. They're $200, which is too much. Considering
but that's what came on the PRS one, right?
That comes on the full fledged, yeah.
But no, I'm curious what the guy replaced it with though.
I'm wondering, did he just buy a set and then go, I'm not going to do it?
Oh, for his like SE or something?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe, but yeah, they're the same buttons on the SE. They're just non-locking. So,
are these the ones that show the gears on the back? The sprockets?
No, they're closed. They look like Clousons.
Okay, I like the ones that show the sprockets.
Yeah, that's more of a Martin thing, isn't it? Or I guess
no, PRS does that.
There was
there
was an era of PRS ones that did that. Yeah,
I think they still do. I think a lot of them still do.
I don't think my CE has exposed gears.
No, real ones.
My CE is a real PRS.
I was just kidding. I was just trying to make your eye twitch a little bit. So you get for making me wait. No one puts baby in a corner. All right. What else is
What did I make you wait on? Oh, recording today?
All right, hold on really quick. I thought we had Chris back for a second. Because God, I'm sorry, Chris.
I just took that personally too.
Good. So granted, Scott texted me last night. It was 9:00 my time, which I'm asleep. He said, how's this week looking? He's debating on going to the show tomorrow night, which is Tuesday night. So I texted him at 7:00 my time this morning, which is 6:00 his. I knew he'd have his alarm off. And I was like, I'm free today starting around 3 my time. So 9:55 my time, 8:55 his. I'm like, okay, I know he's up. And I was like, I have to donate plasma and try to deliver some. So just let me know when you were free. 4:28 p.m. my time. Shoot, somehow I missed this note. I've been waiting to hear from you all day.
Well, so one of the things I've been actually experiencing while I'm not working. So you know how the iPhone now has that like work
turn
mode?
Off notification?
Yeah. So I don't remember your text ever actually coming in, and I don't remember ever reading it. But like I had a few of those today where it was just like someone left me a voicemail and I'm like, wait, my phone didn't even ring. You know, I had a few of those. So
no, it's fine. I was just like, whenever you sent that, I was just like, oh, so what's new with Diaz as well is Diaz started doing Uber Eats to supplement his income. Because I like delivering food. So I mean, for a while, like I worked at Pizza Hut for like 6 years, and I mean, I moved up to general manager, but I started there as a driver. And I absolutely love delivering because it's just kind of driving around, and it helps with my road rage because I get to express it a lot more. Which I don't know if that's good for my road rage, but like, yeah, I'm cussing out grannies, giving the middle finger.
See, right. I could see, I've never done delivery as a job, but I can see it like if that's not your primary income, it's just side income, being actually a pretty relaxing job.
Well, the best part is, so here's the deal with all of this. So one thing I've been kind of actually my next therapy session, we're going to be discussing where I'm always the boss. You know what I mean? Like I'm always my brain's always in boss mode, and we're going to kind of dive into that. And because I don't like that because it can affect me outside of work where it's hard for me to shut that off because my brain works where if I think, or well, actually I know my brain, I I know the best way to do things. I will not budge, and I'll get pissed off if we don't do it my way. Granted, 95% of the time I'm right when I get like that. But we're going to kind of dive into that. But the best part about this is with Uber Eats, I don't have to worry about. I'm dealing with customers very little because a lot of people are just having door delivery. So I just find the place, drop it off, take a picture, leave, bam, make money. Every once in a while, I've had a couple stupid things. So Scott did a poll. I'm in Facebook jail right now. So Scott did a poll, and everyone wanted me to complain about Burger King customers. But actually, I'm going to kind of go on about Uber Eats for a minute. I don't really deal with customers except for whenever they do stupid stuff. Like they have it set to be delivered somewhere else, but in the notes they give you a different address, and you're like, that's on the other side of the city, and I'm in Knoxville, which is a big city. I have to call them, and I'm like, yeah, you got this set up. Like I'm going 25-minute drive. Like I'm not delivering this. Then you have to deal with customers during that, but like very rarely. And then my favorite thing is whenever I get really weird orders. Yesterday I delivered 3 cups of ice from Sonic to the hotel 2 doors down from the Sonic. Like literally there's the Sonic.
How much is a cup of ice at Sonic?
I don't know. So it's more expensive with Uber Eats. So I mean, I run a Burger King. Our prices for Uber Eats are up 20%.
Like just right out the bat?
Right out the bat.
Well, the price, you do that because Uber Eats takes a cut of that price.
Right. So we increased our price so Uber Eats can take their cut.
Yeah.
And it goes, and we make our same amount of money or a little bit more.
I think technically that's I don't know. Like it for a while it was illegal to charge different prices to different customers for various reasons, and there's all these loopholes around. I don't know the exact law on
so
that.
the loophole is the fact that our menu, because it's a lot of it, I think one of the arguments is advertised pricing. But we give the price to Uber Eats and they advertise the price. So that's where we kind of get away with it. But the whole thing is like I delivered 3 cups of ice. Literally, there's a Sonic, there's a Bojangles, which is a chicken place, and then there's this trashy hotel.
And the trashy hotel clearly doesn't have an ice maker? Or do you just not trust the ice maker? Actually, a lot of hotels closed their ice makers during COVID, so maybe it's just not bad. I'm
pretty sure that they were methed up because they had me leave it at the door, and they even messaged me, leave it at the door, which the note said leave it at the door. And there was a do not disturb sign on the door. And it's like, I think they want me to leave it at the door. And
what told you that?
I mean, but I drove like 30 seconds and I made like $3.27. Then I went right back to the Sonic and took another delivery, made like $13 off that. So
do you just like hang out at a restaurant waiting to get an order, or do they send you to the restaurant?
So the way it works is I go online. If it doesn't have me with an order, usually I try to chill somewhere, or even then I'll kind of drive around. Like if I know where there's a big cluster of restaurants, I'll start driving towards them to hopefully pick up a delivery there. And so it really depends on just what I'm feeling. If I'm tired of, if it's later in the day and I'm just tired and bored, I'll have my Switch with me and I'll just sit in my car and wait for a delivery to come through and just play the Nintendo Switch. But also, so I pretty much it's like, hey, do you want this delivery? It tells you how much you're going to make pretty much. The customer can always adjust the tip for up to an hour after the delivery is made. But usually it's pretty spot on telling you how much you're going to make. Every once in a while you get more. I've never gotten less, but so you just say I want that delivery. You drive to the restaurant wherever it's at, and usually they have the order ready or close to ready when you get there. I had one delivery. I was waiting like 20 minutes for the food and I was about to cancel their order. Cause that's just a really long time to wait. Cause I don't get paid to wait. I just get paid to drive. And, and then I pick up the food, I take it to their house, and I either knock on the door if they want it hand delivered, or there's some, I've got some apartments where you're not able to get in. They're just they're waiting car, and I'll just go downstairs. And with the app, it tells them, hey, get your ass downstairs. They've got 8 minutes to get to me. After 8 minutes, I cancel the order.
That's kind of long.
It's surprisingly long. I have not had to wait. Some people are really stupid though. I deliver it to a lot of college kids, and they're our future's fucked. So
no, they're just college age.
Okay, if you know that you're not if you know that without a pass you're not able to get into the building, How do you expect me to deliver it to your apartment floor, 4 stories up, to your door?
Do they give you an apartment number that you're supposed to buzz?
There's no way to buzz. Doors are all locked.
Yeah, that's on them.
Yeah, that happens more often. And don't forget, so this is UT Knoxville. I used to run the Pizza Hut that delivered to UT Knoxville. Yeah. So I mean, at least 3 or 4 times a night we had canceled orders because, especially like the driver would get there, call the person, they wouldn't answer, leave a message, wait a few minutes, call them again, no answer. And then by the time the driver already got back, dropped off the food and went on another delivery, they call me like, hey, where's my order at? Like, yeah, dude, we tried calling you. Oh, well, I didn't hear my phone ring. Well, you ordered a pizza to be delivered. It would make sense to have your phone where you can answer it.
Yeah, people are dumb.
Yeah. All right. Scott, was there anything new? I know you put that you hate something.
Oh, I hate iLock.
That's the thing that, like, with the password and all that, that keeps all your stuff safe.
Yeah, so I've been able to get away with iLock in the cloud for a while, where you just log in to an account and your iLock password stuff is also stored there. So like I could hop between my laptop and my computer. They just couldn't both have Pro Tools open at the same time. Right? Something like that.
Yeah.
I got something new recently that is going to require me to use a real iLock again. So I dug out my old one. It's broke, not working. I'm trying to go through replacement services, and there are just fee after fee after fee. And they basically make you buy a new one, and then they're like, once you ship your old one back to them, they'll refund you. But they want $30 for their slowest shipping option.
What?
For a USB dongle. Like, I'm like, they've got a fun little racket going on where they know they can overcharge you for stuff. So it's like $80 to get a replacement is your initial shell out, and then I'll keep I might get $50 back. And also that at first I was like, oh, okay, that covers my shipping to them and their shipping to me. And then they're like, no, you just have to ship it yourself. Go find a label. So,
oh my gosh.
Oh well. iLock sucks. You know what doesn't suck though? Some new gear news.
Yeah, it does not suck.
Especially.
You were really excited about this.
I am. And actually, didn't you have one of these for a minute?
No.
I thought you got a demo at one point.
No, I had the acoustic, the trans acoustic.
Oh, cool.
I wanted a demo of these, but I didn't get one.
Yeah, I remember we were talking to. Anyway, Yamaha has refreshed the Revstar lineup, including new finishes, a few new tiers coming in at 3 tiers, and also featuring the thing I'm actually really excited about, chambering.
Yes, weight relief. So the big thing with the Revstars were they were heavy.
They were quite heavy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my door. There we go. I just got my package delivered.
Uh-oh.
I know.
All right. So have they announced the prices of these? Are they staying in line with what they already were? I'm guessing. $1,000 each. The Element is $1,000 each.
Now there's some tiers here. So $1,000 is the Element, the lower line. The upper lines, the Professional comes in at $4,000, which is quite up there.
Yeah.
And $1,600 for the Standard. So the Element and the Standard are actually quite competitively priced in a very competitive market. The Professional that better be one of the best guitars you'll ever play, and better have some sweet features on it or something. But because it's, when you're charging more than Gibson, you need to sit there and kind of go, all right, what are you doing that makes this worth it?
Yeah.
That applies to PRS, that applies to Fender, that applies to every big name out there.
So you're saying Gibson's the gold standard?
I would just say Gibson is a line of, this is the most expensive factory guitar that I can think of.
Yeah.
I guess Gretsch might fall into that category too, but
yeah.
Gretsch still has sort of like, I don't know. Anyway. But as far as like solid body guitars go, $3,000 for a Les Paul Standard, that's kind of the, whoa. you're charging a lot. I guess someone will actually me about PRS McCarty's being like 4K or whatever.
So the professionals are made in Japan.
Yeah.
Let's see, where are the elements made? Inspired by Japanese minimalism. I don't know. I like... Ooh.
So the other fun thing here is you've got new finish combinations, and they're still keeping some of the racing stripe aesthetic going on, which is one of the things I also really fell in love with the RevStar over. But now they're doing... How would you describe this burst pattern that's starting to show up on a few of these? It's kind of a top to bottom kind of a burst. Whereas I've seen PRS and Gibson do a burst transition, like a 3-tiered transition burst where they go from the end pin to the neck pocket. This goes from the bottom of the guitar up to the top from a low, medium, and light color.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting.
You've got a competing thought in your head right now, and you're trying to figure out how to phrase it, aren't you?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a yes. So significant weight relief coming off these things through some unique chambering designs. They actually have some photos of what they do. They're adding dry switching into it. So you can do some push-pull stuff. There's left-handed models available. I think that's actually really worth talking about. That often there aren't a lot of left-handed models on guitars. So seeing that come out is a big deal. You've got P90 loadouts. I believe you've got a few different tailpiece options. And you also have humbucker options. So I really hope this is a play. It gets the RevStar a little more out there, because I really think this is a great guitar.
Yeah, I mean, all the RevStars have been great. I don't... I'm interested by... I want to touch them to see about the price point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because 1,000 is still kind of... I mean, 1,000 for a Yamaha, it's not crazy anymore, but it's still... everyone's got to get past the Pacifica stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the fact that they took their Pacifica name and made it a high-end guitar is kind of an interesting thing. Or at least a mid-tier guitar, because we all associate a Yamaha Pacifica was the shop, my local music shop that I got my first guitar from didn't carry Fender.
Right.
That's sort of the thought. So pretty cool. There's some good demos out there too, where people are going through these whole ranges, going through all the features and whatnot. I think Chris Bucks is really good. So if you're curious, if you've always seen the aesthetic of this and you're like, I want to check that out, or I want to hear what they sound like, go give them a look. Should we move on?
Yeah. All right. So Boss takes it. It's funny. We were all waiting for Line 6 to announce something, and Boss was just like, screw you guys. I'm going to do this. So
yeah,
Boss...
By the way, still no Line 6 announcement.
Who was it? Rhett Scholl?
I think so.
Yeah, thanks, Rhett. I know you're never going to hear this, so...
No, he's an avid listener. We all know Rhett's just sitting there, lurking in our comments, waiting to post on stuff.
Well, Rhett, then nana boo boo, stick your head in doo doo. Boss comes out with the GX100, which it seems like Boss is just putting all the same stuff in a different container now. But this one is that a touch screen? Or is it just a bigger screen?
Yes, it is a full color touchscreen.
So yeah, this is pretty much... So Boss is definitely taking cue from the Headrush.
Yep. Well, remember, they have the GX1000 already.
But it didn't have touchscreen, did it?
I don't believe it did.
No.
But it was the beginning of like the AIRD technology.
Yeah, the augmented impulse response. Yeah.
Yep. So it's cool seeing that the let's call it the trickle down of that technology to a more affordable $600 platform.
Yeah.
MIDI in and out. It's not an HX stop, meaning it has more than 3 buttons. It has 5.
That's definitely more than 3.
5 plus a tuner and bank up and down. You got a full volume expression pedal. You've got the knobs. You got the color touchscreen. Like,
but you know what it doesn't have?
What does
if it had scribble? Have? If it had scribble scripts, I'd buy one. I like the scribble scripts. More people should do scribble scripts.
I think that's just the flagship
Helix. I know, but it's genius because like the problem is I don't have time to remember what 3 is on this preset, and even though like you can see that screen over there, I'm getting older. I don't want to have to squint. I'm tall. I have a longer distance to look.
I'm taller than you.
Okay, and do you have them or what? Well, you've got the quad cortex.
Quad cortex has if you swipe up from the bottom, it just has 8 big squares that tell you what all the pedals are.
Okay.
So, but doesn't have scribble scripts. It just has the one big screen, which is significantly bigger than this one on this Boss. And it's good enough. I also play it in stomp mode so often that I already know. I'm either in stomp mode or I'm in scene mode. So I'm either literally going left to right, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Doesn't the HX effects? It doesn't have. I don't think that has scribble scripts, but I think it does. Or it kind of like does. Hold on, 1 second.
You had an effects at one point.
I know. I can't remember. I've slept since then and smoked marijuana cigarettes, sir. It does have scribble scripts.
Oh, there you go. So, you can load your own IRs into it. You can also use it as an audio interface through the USB. I think this is finally that value price point and feature set that I would expect from Boss in this type of market.
Okay.
So, I hope this does well. I mean, one of the other big things that kind of held back the GX 1000 just simply wasn't how it sounded. It was the whole... When people looked at the amps, they were like, it's not a matchless. It's hot lead. Or, they had very generic naming things for a lot of their stuff.
Yeah.
And people wanted brand names, and they want those associations. And even when they're like tongue-in-cheek names, like what Line 6 does, right? With like the heir apparent is Prince of Tone. Those types of things.
Yeah.
So, anyway, sounds there. Check it out.
Well, how much was this again?
$600.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say to you, buddy. Yeah, so it's
I never once like knocked. I was like excited about it, especially the touch screen.
I just never got you engaged. You've been somewhere else.
I'm tired. I've been in ill mood all day, so
yeah.
And like my brain's over here. All right, so Gretsch's Electromatic Classic revamps the 50s era models with new Filtertrons.
Yep, they got a 12-string.
Yeah, I do like the 12-string. I like. You know what? The biggest issue with Gretsch on their lower tiers, the G50, the G5s usually, is the pickups.
Yep.
I don't know how many times you see people that are like, oh, the best was this guy was complaining about his pickups, but people were like, you should adjust the height, and we're all like, no, they just effing suck. Like they really do. They were not great.
Yeah, those ones aren't. I mean that. I don't want to put TV Jones out of business because they make so much money selling replacement pickups for this product line. So
these are all $900, $800. So there's the G5420T is $800, and the other two, the 12 string and the TG are what
900.
Scrolled 900. I mean, so this is right in their normal price range.
Yeah, they're also licensed Bigsby's at that point, or they're not like when you say licensed, like if you look at the product numbers, if it's a single digit, it's US made, it's cast or whatever, and if it's like a double digit number, it's Far East made. So this is a B60. So, so people will complain about the spring on that, probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, these are fun. These are a very popular model, particularly the TG shape is the one I like because I like that orange.
I've always loved that orange. I had a G54, or what was it? The G 3161, which was a historic series, which was not historically accurate at all, which is why Fender nixed it. But I love that the Gretsch orange, but I don't know. Some of I have a problem with hollow body guitars just because I'm such a big guy and I've got a gut, and then you got a hollow body sticking out even farther, and I'm just like, no.
I just feel like I'm playing an acoustic guitar when I play the hollow body that I have. Like it's a different dynamic of playing guitar.
I can't wait for my gut to get big enough where it pops the guitar slightly upward, so it looks like I could be playing slide. Excited. Goals in life. Honestly, though, I like the 12 string. I would get the 12 string because I feel like
that sound with the 12 string I think would work really well. I don't associate Gretsch with 12 strings though.
I believe the Beatles used some 12 string Gretches. I could be wrong.
Are you sure you're not thinking of Rickenbackers?
Oh fuck!
Because I associate Beatles with Rickenbackers, not with Gretches.
So George Harrison apparently did play one at one point.
Oh.
But yeah, it is Rickenbacker. Frick.
Once in a while, I think about buying a George Harrison Telly just as an investment piece.
The Rosewood one?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so good. Yeah. Sorry. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. You know what doesn't look so good?
Oh, tell me.
There's been some drama in the guitar community.
Yeah, so we're keeping you in the loop on this because
LUPE loop.
Lupe.
Lupe?
Lupe. ZFX Lupe. Si, senor, ZFX Lupe. Keeping you in the Lupe.
That's the second week in a row we've made dumb Spanish jokes because we had the essay comments last week.
Listen, my last name is Diaz. It's okay, everybody. So put that. Don't write any letters because we're not going to read them. All right. So yeah. This drama is close to my heart. Scott is more off in the distance, but he did get in.
I would say we're both well connected.
We're involved on the different
on all levels of this.
You're closer to you're closer to one end. I'm was closer to the other. But all right, so
some news came out last
Summer
week.
NAMM. Yeah, so during Summer NAMM, we got to hang out with Chaos. Was it Chaos Audio?
Mm-hmm.
And they're coming out with a pedal that Scott, you were we were both pretty intrigued by and excited by. It's a pedal that you can do different effects, all this stuff, and it's the big thing is that's really cool is it's open source, and Scott, you can probably describe it a lot better than I could.
Well, so we're not going to pull the episode. So we actually I did a full interview with Landon, the CEO of that company, and he talked a bit about his platform and some of his goals, and I can't remember exactly what he's talked about on air versus off air with us, but the goal was actually they're more looking at their pedal as a platform to eventually, and they're launching the app whenever, to allow other people to develop things for their pedal.
Right.
And so they're hoping
and I think they even talked about those people could I don't know if they could
they can sell it.
Yeah, they're creating a marketplace.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing.
And so naturally everyone at that time, the Wampler Terraform had already been out for about a year, and then Wampler actually put out a plugin that you can buy for your audio interface, so you can just run the Terraform's algorithms in your interface without even having the pedal. So there was an idea of well, shoot, they've already coded all that stuff. Get it in this. Or I think there's a lot of it's not really a secret, and I don't think it's a dirty secret, that there's a lot of pedals out there that if you all open them up, they're basically the same pedal. They're all running off a spin chip or the Shark chip. So there's 2 DSP chips that are out there that almost every guitar pedal that's digital runs on. And that it's a lot of the pedal design is actually programming or coming up with in that programming language, whatever. And so the idea would be you port your stuff over to this platform. Anyway, so we've met Chaos Audio. We've interviewed them. We've done a segment where we talked about their brand and what they're doing. They are a fairly unique company because they're college students that got involved in a venture capital sort of thing development program through their university, and that's how they're launching the company. So it's not 3 guys in their garage selling stuff on eBay until they get a brand together, which is the old model, or the model we're used to seeing people come up on. But last week, some not so favorable news kind of came up about them.
Yeah. Our friend, I will say a friend of the show, a longtime friend of the show.
Past contributor to the show.
Beautiful human being, Albie, who is an ex-employee of the now defunct Gear Supply company. And then he went and worked at Sinusoid for a while. He posted some information that Chaos Audio onboarded Josh Koterba, who was the founder, CEO, head honcho of Gear Supply Company, which stole a lot of money from a lot of people. And so it was kind of brought up, and I had very strong feelings about it right away. Discussed it in our chat room. If you, once again, patreon.com/TheFXLoop, you can, I believe it's $5 or more a month, you can listen to Diaz complain about stuff in a chat room. I really didn't complain. I really was like, it was kind of a discussion with Scott, with lookers, people ongoingly or watching us, and pretty much I said, I really want to write an email to these guys, because the big thing is we like these guys. They seem very nice, very genuinely excited to get into this market that we absolutely love. And I feel like for me, and I'm not speaking for Scott, but I cherish this because just a few years ago, I was just a guitar player who loved toys. And now I feel like we've been accepted into this community that years ago I was looking from the outside in, and I've made a lot of good friends, a lot of people I've got to meet and spend time with that I've cherished. And so I really, I don't like seeing my friends fucked over. It's a big thing. And I was friends with a lot of the guys that worked at Gear Supply. I mean, I spent time with them. Albert was the one that I probably communicated with the most. And I communicated quite a bit with Josh as well. I mean, I helped whenever they had new products launching. I got to mess with them. The Gear Supply,
you were in one of their ad campaigns, weren't you?
I was, for the Light Drive, which I own 5 of. And, and that's when people ask why the time I own it. And a lot of it is I like the drive pedal, and it's just it's got a weird place in my brain where I see one and I want it. And I want to, it's like Pokemon, got to catch them all. And
unlike Pokemon, there's less than 150 of them.
Oh, that's true. And the worst part is I know where 2 of them are, and I can't get them to give them up. I mean, I've even offered, like, besides trades, I'm like, you want monies? I'll give you monies for them. But
you don't have money.
Well, why do you think I'm doing Uber Eats? Collect all the Gear Supply Co. Light Drives. But we
need to have a discussion at some point about your aspirations in life and goal setting.
Yeah. Well, I'm setting unobtainable goals, which is that's the problem. But yeah, so I pretty much saw that Josh was working for the company, and my brain went, fuck, this is not going to be good for these guys. So I drafted up an email. Scott polished the turd that was the email, added some stuff, took some stuff out, and we collectively sent an email. Then Scott actually got a phone call and spoke with Landon, right?
Yeah. So I think some of that conversation just should stay private.
No, that's
just
fine.
Because I didn't tell them I was going to announce anything or talk about, like, this is an off the cuff kind of discussion right now.
Scott's like, shut the. Yeah, if at any point I need to just shut up, you can tell me to. Well, I mean, when it comes to like,
by what standard should you just shut up? I mean, we passed that a long time ago.
Yeah, episode 2.
It might have been sooner.
It was the episode of Carter's talks tone that became the effects loop.
No, so yeah, because we had a relationship, they called me and went, "Hey, what's going on?" Because that was largely the intent. We just kind of sent them, "Hey, do you guys know, like, one, just heads up, there's a post going on.
Yeah.
There's going to be some bad press. Be ready, and for the fallout of this, and also, do you know what you're doing?"
That answer will be that question will be answered in a few minutes.
Yep. So we had a bit of a talk about what that means, what the baggage of Gear Supply is, and how being associated with it, and by taking that on, what that looks like. And then we discussed a few possible, like, well, what could and should we do? And I gave him my personal opinion, and I gave him my professional opinion, which I won't share because people have like weird expectations of that. Not that I necessarily think a ton of people are like looking for ammo on them and listen to this, but I gave them some advice, and I also recommended they speak with some people that are in similar situations.
Yeah.
And offered to connect them, and then did connect them with said professionals, because the guitar community is actually very collaborative. There's a lot of people who are freelancing and working with a lot of different people. And I mean, not that we do demo work. That's been kind of something you and I have talked about a few times where we're like, I don't really want to do it and I don't want to be there. We are still part of the influencer network. That would be, from a marketing standpoint, that would be what you and I are and what this podcast is. Sorry to drop the curtain there, or pull the curtain aside there, but that is what we are. If we really wanted to monetize that and things like that, that would be part of this.
Do you want Diaz to talk about your product? Hell no. Then send us $50, or else he will.
That's what we call an extortion racket.
Oh no, I'm just kidding. We can't do. Listen,
and then we can loan money to desperate people with like a VIG on it. Like, we're just going to full out be the mob.
I've heard those words on Law and Order before, so we're not going to do that.
All right.
That's my stance on these things. If I've heard it on Law and Order, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my level of involvement. I'm not taking an official stance, and I mean, I've talked to them about collaborating, looking at a beta model, a beta test model, and things like that. I haven't joined the pre-order list, but it's a product I'm really interested in playing with. So
yeah,
on a product level, I'm really interested in them. On a personal level, what they are in terms of young 20-somethings trying to start a company in an incubator and try to do a guitar pedal and do kind of a different guitar pedal. That I know there's been a few attempts at a very similar thing, but this one, it has a unique feel and is kind of, I mean, what it is. I have some investment in there, in just in terms of just personal investment and what I'm excited to see. But man, I still have some baggage with Gear Supply. And I barely have baggage with Gear Supply compared to some people. I just have late orders. Like, they actually fulfilled all the orders I made for them. But there were some that I was waiting months and not expecting to get anything from them, So, I imagine, for particularly our close community, because Gear Supply was a very personal brand for a lot of us. I still use Gear Supply stuff. You do too. My favorite strap was a Gear Supply company strap. I have cables from them. I have, what else do I have from them? Strap locks. I still have, I have a pick tin on my Quad Cortex board that actually was the container that my strap locks came in from, Gear Supply. There's a big old Jamie Davis sticker on top of it to cover up the Gear Supply logo, but it's still there.
Yeah.
I still have the Gear Supply hat. I throw that on once in a while to see if anyone notices it. Most people think it's a Gatorade logo, but nevertheless, we wear it. And then we all have friends. Like, you and I are both friends with Albert. We love that guy. Want to see that guy succeed in life, and he got screwed over for working hard at a job.
And you know what? Here's the thing. He was, when it came to like publicity, he was a guy who was
He was the face of that brand. Yeah.
And yeah, it's just really, all right. So I'm starting. My personal views on this are not that of the Effects Loop brand. Okay.
Well, the Effects Loop brand's official stance is we're not taking a stand one way or the other.
Correct.
And the individual hosts will what we want to show is that there's a range of opinions to this. But we're no one sitting there saying, yeah, Josh Katurba is a good guy and everyone should support him. That is not our stance.
I feel our all right. So here's my viewpoint. First of all, I'm highly disappointed in Chaos Audio for the way that they've handled this with their responses to people. It's been very, people are like, hey,
they're giving a PR canned answer, which I'm probably being a little more okay with, just because I've been in that position where I'm not allowed to answer on a corporate level and I'm having PR or legal draft my responses. I've been in that seat. It sucks.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal.
Yeah. They're still not great answers. They're still not great answers. I'm not affirming them.
I will not do business with any company that has Josh Katurba on any sort of, it has anything to do with him.
I will buy groceries at a store that has him bagging them.
No, because that's going to fall through too. And I want my
make him double bag it.
Triple bag it, bitch. But like
he put cans on top of my bread. No deal. Sorry, my first job was bagging groceries. It's still a personal thing. No,
but like I'm highly disappointed in Chaos Audio for the response to this. Because here's the deal, and what Scott and I will debate on this. All right. Well, I don't think we'll debate on it. Here's my idea. They're being dismissive to the market they're trying to break into. Granted, Scott, not every guitar player has been screwed over by Gear Supply Co. But the guitar people, the people who play guitar and the people who are involved in the guitar world that do Kickstarters, Indiegogos, for products like this, do usually float around near our circles. And it's really,
Gear Supply has left an awful stain on Kickstarter for me.
I mean, Gear Supply Co. is the skid mark on the underwear of the online campaign, like those crowdfunding campaigns.
I mean, I've seen them in other industries that are really bad too.
Yeah, it's happened, but this is the industry that's close to our heart and that we've seen.
Yeah. So I don't do crowdfunding. I don't know about you. If you've done a crowdfunding thing since Gear Supply, I don't think I have. Anything I've crowdfunded has never actually gone that well. I have a French press that I crowdfunded, and I know I was one of the customers that actually got one, and it broke. Like, it was not up to the quality that they said that it was going to be. And I remember being on the forums and like the chat board, like, because it was like 2 years late, and tons of people didn't get their orders on that one either, because there's always unforeseen costs. There's all these kind of things, and that is kind of the thing about like the business model of a Kickstarter is often we don't have any capital, or we already put our own capital into it. So often whoever's the main owner of the company or whatever already put $50 to $100 to $200,000 of their own money trying to get a product off the ground, but they can't get any venture capital or anybody else in on it. So they go to the crowdsourcing model so that they're not accountable to anybody. If you guys watch Shark Tank a lot, that's actually a lot of those kind of people that were coming on it. They're sometimes in a similar position, but they already got turned down by venture capital. And then there's unforeseen cost after unforeseen cost after unforeseen cost. And in a business where, for us as an often consumer, if you're going to Guitar Center and you're buying something that's already been manufactured. So that cost already captures everything that's there and it's accurately priced. Versus we're going to fund something. It's going to go off into the ether for a year or two. They're going to figure out production. They're going to finish their prototype, and then they're going to manufacture it. There's so many unforeseen, unknown things.
But the biggest issue too isn't just the Kickstarter. The problem was that whenever Gear Supply stopped fulfilling orders,
they kept the subscriptions going.
They kept subscriptions going, and you weren't able to easily cancel them.
Yep.
That was a big issue. People were having to file chargeback claims. They were, just so much stuff going on.
They were running sale after sale after sale during the spiral too, to try to fund. It was pretty clear at that time that they were trying to drive up money to fulfill old orders. And I remember at one point they were talking about with the pedals. They were bottlenecked with the pedals because the guy building them was having personal issues or something like that. I think he had a kid during that period of time too. There was a lot of things going on. Like it was, these are not excuses. These are things that happened that got in the way of something not happening, which was delivering product at the price that was quoted. So I know Kickstarters were waiting, and then they ran a sale over like Black Friday or something like that, and those were getting delivered.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
So there were sales and people who were like, I'm still waiting on my Kickstarter, and you're selling products at a discount to somebody else, and those products are moving. There was a lot of just people waiting for something that they've already paid for and not getting it delivered. Period. That was not happening. We saw it. Last week I mentioned another company in our good fundraisers discussion, right, with Sinusoid. There's now a lot of people complaining about Sinusoid not delivering quickly and waiting months or 90 days, or you're seeing a lot of that bad press on them too, and I was pointed out to that by people. So those things happen with different companies, and it's never a good sign of the health of the company when those kind of delays exist. And there's a reason why someone like let's talk about like Analog Man, right? You're on the King of Tone waiting list for years. But the reason we're all okay with that, and we're always telling people to shut up when they complain about the long wait list, is we're saying, look, you don't have to put any money down. And once you do put down money, he delivers within a week. Yeah. So that company's in good health. He's just maintaining a wait list. There's a difference between that and creating a back order log that results in unfulfillment for 90 days, 120 days. And the reason I'm saying those numbers are those tend to key in with like financial things. So like if you're going to cancel an order, products undelivered within a certain amount of time, you're entitled to refunds as part of your payment processing stuff. So there's a know your rights side of that. But there's a lot of people who didn't, and there's a lot of people who paid money for products at Gear Supply Company, and they never showed up. Yeah. Ever. And they're still waiting on any form of restitution, a refund, a product, an apology, an acknowledgement.
That's the whole thing too. He fell off the face of the earth, and the worst part was, without even acknowledging where he screwed all these people over, he went on other business ventures, and then now there was a company before this that he worked with, and then now there's this is a second company in the exact industry that he screwed over. And what type of person, besides an psychotic narcissistic asshole, thinks, oh, it's fine? And the worst part is the way he talks about himself is ridiculous.
There's a lot of things in that done bundle, and there's a lot of things that could be libel, so I don't know if I want to say it.
I don't give a shit. What are they going to do? Sue me and get my Uber Eats money?
All that Patreon money we make.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That $10 at the end of the year is really going to come up. Yeah. There's a lot of was it you who compared the vibe to the dude from Fire Festival, the Billy whatever his name is?
No, it was not me.
Okay. There's a lot of you get a lot of the hustle culture speak kind of thing, which, I mean, okay, so I run around, or I did run around in the entrepreneurship circle stuff. Starting a company is stressful and sucks. You and I have been talking about that ever since I've left my last job. I'm a different person than I've been for the last 4 years. In just the last week, not having to carry the stress of starting a company and try to keep it running. Right? That stress changes you, and you make bad decisions when you're under that kind of stress. And there's a reason why you see so many opportunities of bad bosses, people making really selfish short-term goal decisions with companies. They get really defensive about everything. They're under an insane amount of stress that makes them make bad decisions because you're in a fight or flight mode and you just can't handle it. On the flip side, there's a reaction to that in the cultures that exist of leadership cultures. If you hang out around a lot of CEOs or leaders of companies, or you go to those kind of conferences, there's so much pat on the back, like blow smoke up your butt kind of attitude at the same time to try to counteract that. And there's literally industries of just like yes men and people who make you feel important and like you're doing God's work by being a CEO kind of a world too. And there's a certain pattern of speak in that is, especially the type of I'm starting something, I'm this visionary, and you should all get on board, get on in early kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That when the product works, they look like a genius, and when the product fails, there'll be documentaries and everyone discussing about this person being a con man. So you look at Elizabeth Holmes is getting a lot of press on that, the Theranos founder. There's a lot of deconstruction on her that's out there right now. There's about to be a Hulu series on that. The dude behind Fire Festival. And there's all this like hero worship of CEOs. Anyway, so he is so steeped in that language, in that vibe, in that aesthetic. It's cliche.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed. I feel from what I understand, apparently, they are supposed to have a personal interaction with Albert. I'm interested to see how that goes, and that's a big thing. Like, there's just
hire Albert instead.
I mean, I'd vote for that in a heartbeat. But
we talked about this. Was it last week where we talked about
being the face of a brand?
We're so creator heavy, or like a single person heavy in this industry. And Josh is one of those personalities in the industry. Whether we want to, a lot of people want to see him exiled for good. He has a personality in the industry, and whatever brand he touches or he's associated with, his brand goes with it, whether by association or whatever it is. Let's put it out there. We've made comparisons. There has been fraud in the guitar industry on a few different levels, and there's personalities or two associated with them.
Right.
There are personalities of people being jerks to every single person who writes an email to them. Imagine Walrus Audio starts bringing Mike Fuller in as a designer. Mike Fuller's baggage. Mike Fuller hasn't screwed anybody out of money, to my knowledge, but
Mike Fuller's more.
He's a
kind
jerk.
He's
a cranky jerk.
I'm definitely going to use this too, and I'm not comparing them on the same level. Brad Jackson from Jackson Audio, he has not been a cordial person a few times. It's been documented, but Mike Fuller's more of a jerk more of the time. But those are more along the lines of just bad personality, which is different than screwing people over.
But there's baggage.
Yeah.
There's baggage and there's strength to anybody's brand. And you got to weigh that, and you got to understand how that now affects their brand. So if Colt suddenly has Mike Fuller on board, this is completely hypothetical, right? Because I don't think that's going to happen. Or watch next week. There's new knowledge. Who knows? But there's baggage that comes with that. Now, say Mason Marangella is another interesting one with Vertex, because there was actually some fraud, but at the same time there was restitution. So some people have forgiven and some people haven't.
So
right.
You brought those up.
I personally don't want anything to do with Vertex, right?
Okay, right, and that's understandable. But the difference is, even if Josh, okay, so Mason with Vertex. He got caught. I can't remember if he doubled down on his lie or not.
He did for a little bit and then finally fessed up.
Okay, so he doubled down.
He has tons of excuses out there about like, oh, I never said I was an electrical engineer, and
right.
There's all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he's just like Josh. He knows how to play the words. But
that's the mode you get into when you're desperate and you're trapped. You get defensive. You start lying. That's a human condition. Or
in the and they do the thing where they choose words that can be used different ways, or they know how to phrase themselves and how to construct the sentence to have control of the conversation, and to lie without lying, omit the truth as much as possible.
Well, John, I have that skill too.
Well, yes, but you don't.
Remember I wrote that email, I shared it with you, and someone else went, dude, can you write my resumes or stuff like that? Because I can business speak. It's a skill you learn.
But also, Scott, you know how to turn that off. For the most part.
Sometimes I'll turn it off. Sometimes I know how to fake turn it off where you're disarmed and then I can sneak it back in.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. You're doing it now. You're back talking. All right, listen. So, but the thing is, here's the deal. So Mason, he doubled down on his lie, and then finally it was just proof. It was out there, and he made restitution by refunding or
product exchanges. I think was something he did too.
A product, yes. You could exchange or
was it Michael Landau? Was the artist kind of associated with that wah?
No, he was associated with the volume pedal, which was a redone Boss volume pedal.
Who was the person associated with the wah then?
There wasn't really anyone.
There was somebody. There's definitely somebody.
Okay.
I thought it was Mike Landau, but I could be wrong.
He might have been associated with both.
Yeah.
I remember Mike Landau from the volume pedal, where everyone's like, "That's a Boss volume pedal," and they changed they added a buffer or something like that. No, it was I can't remember. They did something.
The wah was, he claimed it was a whole circuit at one point, like an original circuit.
No.
And goop the board. And we find out it's a BBE Benoit. And then he's like, I made special transistor, or no, it was an inductor, custom inductor. And then you find out, no, he didn't even replace inductors. No,
it was literally just a rebadged BB Benoit.
Yeah.
Which they are phenomenal. I have one. I paid $60 for it. So I got a Vertex wah for $60.
Well, there's the Freakish Blues, right?
Was that him? That wasn't him. That was a different
company. Not Mason, but that was another example of a rebadge.
Analog. Yeah. Mike Piera brought that up. But the biggest thing, the difference between what Vertex and Gear Supply is, Josh still has not made a public apology, and if he tried to make restitution now, it's been what, 4 years? Yeah, I mean, it's been a while.
I mean, if for fraud liability is still something like statute of limitations, like they were in Nebraska, right?
Yeah, Omaha, yes.
Omaha. So I don't actually know what the statute of limitations out there, but I bet you it's longer than 3 years. You can come and sue somebody. But
I believe there was also someone was trying to do a class action lawsuit and get people signed up on it.
Yeah, I don't think anything ever happened to that, but because that also felt like it was a phishing scheme. So
are you talking about getting information?
The person who bought the website and made a form for you to fill in information on a
okay
thing. Remember that? Because they actually bought over the Gear Supply Company website.
Yeah, that was I don't know, but I mean, I just think that it's too much. It's too close to home. I'll never do business with anyone that does business with him strictly out of pure principle.
I think this would be different if Josh suddenly joined just doing social media for somebody like Wampler, like an established brand. They're like, yeah, look, he's just a social media person just doing that, and that's what he's doing. But the fact that it's a Kickstarter company, the extra association there just makes everything so much worse. And it makes people feel see guilt immediately. You know, it's a difference between a guy ran himself into the ground and now has to humbly work for somebody else. You know.
Yeah.
There are tiers of this. But right now, there's a community not willing to accept Josh Katorba back. And some people might not. I mean, or might not think this is a thing because like they weren't personally affected by it, or they don't have personal investment. They don't have a friendship that's connected with it. And the guitar market's way bigger than the few little Facebook groups we're in too. So,
but the thing is that those few little Facebook groups and even
influencers.
They have influencers, and also the people who like, people are gonna be like, there's millions of guitar players. Okay, yeah, the people who go to Guitar Center like once every 6 months to have the Guitar Center restring their strings, those aren't the people who are doing Kickstarters and Indiegogos. It's people.
You don't know. You really don't know. I mean,
Okay.
so just
The
for
odds of
comparison's
it
sake,
are-
like the Gear Supply Company had what I counted it was like 120 backers, unique backers, to get that going. The Cass Audio one has more than 500 unique backers on theirs.
Well, they must have someone influencing and hacking their growth.
Maybe, but like there's also their products appealing to people that we're not in the same community as. I think that's a big thing to just remember.
Well, our community is better than their community.
Maybe. But I mean, here's the other the last thing I think I have to say, because I want to wrap this up, because I warned you about something about an hour ago, and that time is coming. I
know what that is. Yeah, but Scott's got a tinkle.
Yeah, Scott had a Coke Zero at like 3 p.m, and the caffeine's working its way through.
Scott's got to take the piss.
Yep. I honestly think that one of the biggest things this is going to affect is actually this company's relationship with the established influencers. A lot of the established influencers who will say, no, I don't want to be associated with that.
Right. Because the people who are doing the demos and all that, they definitely have a community that
they're in a lot of the same community groups we're in.
Right. So if they want to hack that growth, they're going to have to hack off that fucking wart.
I feel like
Josh is a wart.
Okay, you did not need to clarify that anymore, because now
you have to do more than pee.
Yeah, let's wrap this up.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. This has been an awkward ending. But yeah, anywho, go to patreon.com/stayeffectsloop and give us money. That'll be real nice. Okay. Have you seen the TikTok guy? He's like the old mountain guy. He's like, yeah, and then you gotta go in. And sometimes you got to be where you don't want to be, but then you got to be there. If you don't want to be there, then you got to be somewhere, and that's where you get where you want to be, and you just don't know you wanted to be there.
Are you intentionally dragging this out because you know I have to use the bathroom?
Maybe. All right, guys. Thanks for supporting the show. We love you guys. Scott tolerates you. I love you. I love you more than he does. So go to theeffectsloop.com. It's got the links to all of our cool stuff. Go to facebook.com/group/theeffectsloop, and you can join the conversation there. It's been really cool because we've had people actually participating now that I'm not on Facebook. I got 3 days and I'm out, mother effers. So for the Effects Loop, I'm Diaz.
Hot dogs or sandwiches. Bye,
Fuck
guys.
you. Bye.
We are strong. We have to just keep pushing along. We are one. So let's come together, show 'em some love. There are many things that this world needs, but the most important one is unity. United we stand, united we fall. Through the ages
a dictionary. Why is negativity always drawn out? Pictionary, visualize love, energize lives together. We undefeated. A plan to make weathers, no gloves needed. When we weed into the mindset of achieving and believing in a community that remains happy. Never after, the world should be one. Hate annihilated, every heart is one. Love again. So don't buy the hate, don't separate. We're strong when love overcomes. Don't buy the hate, don't separate. We're strong when love overcomes. Don't buy the hate, don't separate. We're strong when love overcomes. Don't buy the hate, don't separate. We're strong when love overcomes. Don't buy the hate, don't separate. We're strong when love overcomes. Make the love flow, 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 make the love flow Make the love flow, 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 make the love flow.
Check. Am I quiet?
You're never quiet.
Is that supposed to be mean, or I was actually trying to be practical?
Both.
Okay.
I mean, it was truthful and truthful.
Truth hurts, man. Truth hurts.